I'm coming back down.
Just a moment.
Someone on you.
Him for 20. I whacked him to death.
Warning.
Hyperscape is a new 100-man battle royale futuristic free-to-play game where you engage in an FPS close quarter and fast-paced matches to become the next winner. Essentially, this game is very confusing when you first jump in. You see nothing makes sense and there's a lot going on, and let me explain a little bit and try to help you guys win your next Hyperscape game. If you're a battle royale player or an FPS player, you'll know that settings are one of the most important things. You're gonna want to adjust your settings before you get into this game. You start in the tutorial and it's very easy to kind of play around with your settings in the tutorial and figure out what's the best sensitivity settings and also your bindings on your keyboard or mouse. If you go to your settings, you'll see that you have gameplay, video, audio, general account. The way you can customize your controls is if you click this in the very first section, you have gameplay. You click this and you can actually switch around your keys bindings. So for me personally, in all these settings, I only changed a couple things. I recommend you guys to switch is your primary and secondary hack slot. This is going to be one of your biggest things you're going to use in this game. Essentially, the primary and secondary hack slots are your abilities, whether it's heal, whether it's shield, ball, my 5 and 4 on my mouse button, which is right literally on the thumb. On my thumb, I can access my heal, and on the other button on my thumb, I can access let's say a jump, and I can actually escape. And all this is done through my mouse. So my shooting and my abilities are all controlled through my mouse, and that is a fantastic way get better a little bit at the game because it enables you to use your abilities faster. If we're gonna go back, you see we have sensitivity. Now the sensitivity, from what I can find, is approximately the same as Modern Warfare. And so I've been using the Modern Warfare / Overwatch sensitivity 5 at an 800 DPI, and on Warzone I'm at 4.2 at 800 DPI. And it seems to be working really well for me, and I've really been enjoying on that 5 times 800 DPI, which effective DPI in this game would be a 4,000. So the way looting works in this game, essentially you drop in and you can go around and pick up abilities and weapons that spawn in orange buildings or various landmarks across the cities / districts. And what you end up actually doing with these loots, you can keep upgrade them if you find the exact same weapon or the exact same ability. These upgrades can either be an increased magazine size, can be a little bit more damage, or can be increased cooldown speeds on your abilities. Now you can also find these loot crates which tend to spawn maxed out abilities or maxed out weapons, and they emit a sound which you can hear pretty easily. Just like any other battle royale, there's combinations of guns and abilities that work really well together. In this current clip you see me using a Ripper and a shotgun. Essentially what I'm doing is shooting them down with my Ripper. It runs out of ammo and I switch to my shotgun. One of the current best combinations in this game is running the sniper rifle called Protocol, and you're running the Hexfire on your secondary. And so essentially why this combination works so well is because the Hexfire has 270 rounds in it, and it can consistently do an insane amount of damage without much recoil on the weapon. And having that Protocol sniper rifle gives you the ability to get those long shots, and then a fully upgraded Protocol can actually one shot or do 120 damage in the head or 60 damage to the body, and it does insanely amounts of damage if you do want to do an opening shot on a target that's running away from you.
Another kill, another kill!
So here we start with wall. You can basically put a wall up and you can actually get on this wall. Mine, you can put a mine down and it's kind of like a claymore if you want to think about it that way. You can also enable invisibility, and it cancels as soon as you attack. You have a reveal, and basically what reveal does is anything in that direction that you're facing, you will reveal the enemy target, and you'll have an arrow above his head, as you see on the screen right now. You see that arrow on there, his head. Now you do also have the heal, and that heal heals anyone inside that circle. Now the shield is temporary shield that grants protection, and if you do an animation, it does cancel that shield. The ball is an automatic escape that also has armor on it, which you can use. The teleport is a blink, essentially, and the slam is one of the most OP abilities in this game. It basically slams you up into the air, and you can slam down, stunning the person, putting them up in the air, and also doing a lot of damage to them in the process. Don't take my kill. I got him.
Yo, good work, boys.
So the way the death system works in this game is that when you die, you're actually able to still play, and you actually play as a ghost, and that can run around and still track and ping enemies in this game. There is certain markers around the map that will light up for a person that is dead, and you can actually go to this marker and be able to get revived by your teammate once you're on this marker. Now, revives can be used as a bait in a regard, so when you do kill an enemy, a marker does spawn on the enemy, and you can actually revive one of your own teammates in that marker. However, if the enemy team is smart, they're going to be camping those markers, whether they're spawned from a kill or whether they're spawned from the game. And if the enemy team does have knowledge of this marker, it's going to be very hard for you guys to get the res off, and so the idea is to actually move away and go to a different marker. We've kind of gone over all the 5 tips that I would start off with in learning in this game, because you got your settings. If you get your settings down, next you got to worry about your aim. You get your aim down, next you got to worry about your weapons. You know the 2 weapons. You have the abilities, and then you basically have the revive system. Now, there's more combinations of weapons that work. There's multiple energy weapons that whether they shoot grenades, or whether they shoot it's a grenade launcher, or whether they shoot an electric bolt that explodes and kind of does AoE damage. This is something that you just kind of got to find your playstyle and see if you like using those weapons. But overall, there's going to be a lot of strategies and a lot of possible combinations for weapons to work. One of the last things I want to talk about, and it's not very much like a tip, it's more of a game knowledge sense if you're starting out on this game brand new, is the way the actual map works. And the map doesn't close like a circle like it did in PUBG or Warzone or Fortnite. It actually is a circle based on zones. It's not a circular pattern, it's a pattern based on the zone that you're currently in. And the zone is going to collapse and slowly do damage to you. However, this damage is not significant. What's significant is the amount of people that are going to be able to shoot you, because you're going to have absolutely zero cover unless you have abilities. And so you're going to make sure you want to get out of that zone as fast as you possibly can. Current playstyle and what I've been liking to use right now is running the Ripper / the R301 from Apex into the sniper rifle, as I love sniping in any game I play, whether it's Battle Royale or just multiplayer in Call of Duty as an example. You could also use the Hexfire, which is basically the broken LMG in this game. And then the shotgun works really well if you can hit your flicks. Now, my 2 favorite abilities is going to be the heal and slam. Now, the heal, it's fantastic. A fully upgraded heal is ready to use every 3 seconds. And basically, you have a constant heal up 24/7. You never have to, like, get rid of it. And you're constantly being healed, which is amazing. Probably pretty OP, and it probably will be nerfed in the future. Now, Slam fully upgraded, you can basically use this as an escape tool or a tool to attack someone. And you could basically, at a fully upgraded Slam, you could use it every 5 seconds or so. And you basically can move around the map and just completely stun people or completely escape. And a combination with heal and slam, you will be practically unstoppable and almost necessary for the last few rounds of the game. Now, you have a Hexfire on top of that. You can have a heal permanently inside a building with a Hexfire pointed at a door, and essentially if you do have a whole team collapsing onto you, you're able to put able to put up a really good defense. I really hope these tips can help you out and get your very first win on Hyperscape. It's a very fun game that I'll be streaming every day for 8 hours a day almost until the game is off Twitch and off the beta. So I'll see you guys next time. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day. Oh my god. How much did we get in general? 8, 4, 7? Holy shit, you guys do well. Essentially, you're playing as Alan Wake, who's a famous author, and in the story, his wife has been kidnapped, so he's trying to get her back. However, as the story progresses, we learn things are not always as they seem, and the creatures trying to harm him are only hurt by light, aka why we're using flashlights. Maybe it's a portal goose.
Wait a second, what the fuck is that? Wait a second. What did I just see?